Hello students, this is Dr. Vidya Patil. I am your English teacher for the first SEM English language course. In the previous videos, we have understood what are the various topics which you are going to study during the first SEM Basic English course. Today, I am going to begin with the first chapter, that is Comprehension Passage. As you already know, comprehension passage is one of the receptive skills as it helps you to develop your reading abilities. Comprehension passages are an integral part of English or any language learning process. You have practiced comprehension passage in almost every language class right from your school days. This is because comprehension passages are the easiest way to develop your reading skills and understanding or comprehension skills of any given text. Therefore, if you want to develop your reading skills in a given language, it is necessary that you practice many comprehension passages. In today's video, I will be explaining what exactly is a comprehension passage and how you can solve the questions which are given at the end of the passage. The word comprehension is a noun. It means the ability to understand something. To comprehend means to understand. Therefore, comprehension passages are passages which are meant to be read and understood. Solving comprehension passages are an important part in the teaching learning process of any language. The art of reading, understanding, and remembering any given text is learned through practicing comprehension passages. Any person, when he reads a given passage, should be able to reproduce the passage in his or her own words. Reading comprehension passages helps to develop your language abilities as well as higher level of thinking. Reading comprehension passages is an important topic in any English language course. It is also a compulsory question which appears in almost every competitive examination. Now let us try to understand what are the things expected from you when you try to read a comprehension passage. You are first expected to read and understand the meaning of the passage. Next, you should notice the different contexts in which these sentences appear and how the sentences are related to each other. Also, at the end of the passage, a few questions will be given and you need to be able to answer these questions based on the given passage. Let us now see what are the various measures which can be taken in order to understand a given passage effectively. First of all, you should have a good sense of the language in which the passage has been given. Here, since we are dealing with the English language course, you should have a good idea of how the English language is used. Next, you need to develop a good vocabulary in that language. When we say a good vocabulary, what we mean is that you should have a knowledge of as many words as possible in that particular language. Also, along with this, you should have a meaning of the various idioms, phrases, and other proverbs which are used in the English language. Also, it is necessary that whenever you are trying to read a passage and understand the meaning, it will be possible only when you are fluent in that language and have a good command over the language. In addition to having a good command over the language, you also need to develop the ability to decode effectively. That is, when you read a particular text, you should be able to understand the hidden meanings in the text also. Next, you should be able to understand various words and their meanings. You also need to develop the ability to understand contextual cues. That is, in a given context, a certain word or phrase may be meaning something else from the literal meaning. So, you should have the ability to understand these variants in meaning when the English language is being used. Next, you should be able to attend to the key information. That is, the most important points which may be being directly or explicitly stated or which is implicit in the sentence. Both kinds of meanings should be understood by you when you read a given passage. Also, you need to sometimes make use of the background knowledge which you have related to that particular subject and apply it while reading and understanding a given passage. So, you need to develop the ability to relate the given passage with your own personal experiences and other background information which you already have. And finally, you also need to develop the ability to create inferences. That is, when you read something, there may be certain things which are not stated, but which you need to infer after reading the passage. So, in this way, if you develop these various abilities, you will be able to read any given passage and understand its meaning properly. Reading comprehension passages will assess your intelligence in grasping the gist of a given passage. Here, when I say gist, what I mean is the central idea or the main topic which is being explained in the passage. Also, you will be expected to infer or come to certain conclusions based on the context in which the passage has been written. Most of the questions in the comprehension passage will be related to the passage itself. Sometimes you may have to use or find out the contextual meaning of the words which have been used, or also try to know the antonyms of given words in order to answer a few of the questions which are given at the end of the passage. Let us now understand some of the steps which you need to follow to solve a comprehension passage. You first need to read the passage carefully 2 or 3 times till you understand the given passage. Next, you need to read the questions one by one till you are sure that you have understood each of the questions. Now, you can take up each question one by one and try to find out the part of the passage where it is possible to find the answer to that particular question. In this way, each question will be taken up one by one and you will find the related portion in the passage where you will most possibly be able to get the answer to that question. Once you have found the answers to all the questions, you should begin writing the answers. These answers should be written in your own words and should be to the point so that you don't waste time in writing lengthy answers. In a comprehension passage, you're not expected to write essay type answers. So your answers have to be very brief, very short, and exactly to the point. So, if you need to understand a comprehension passage, you need to put in efforts so that you first should have a good idea of the language in which the passage has been written. You need to develop a good vocabulary. You need to have the ability to relate the various instances, incidents, examples which have been given in the passage with your own personal experiences and other background information. Also, you should be able to derive or infer various contextual meanings and references. So, any comprehension passage which needs to be understood in the right way, there needs to be a lot of contribution from the reader. Without the reader's contribution, no passage can be read and understood effectively. So, students, you must now have got a clear idea about what exactly is a comprehension passage and what are the various abilities you need to develop in order to be able to solve a comprehension passage effectively. In the next video, we will try to understand various strategies which you can employ in order to understand a comprehension passage. I hope you like this video. Thank you.